everybody. How are you on this lovely day? Ooh, been running around trying to get stuff all set up and ready and all my plans, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be chatting with you guys again. I am going to go ahead and oil up first because, well, I like my oil, so I start there always, and it helps me to stay calm and feel better. So first, what I'm putting on is a little bit of frankincense. I think I usually start with frankincense on all of these calls. I put a little bit on my chest, a little bit on my head, and as you're coming in, just say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what oils you're putting on right now, and I will really try hard to watch the feed as you guys are chatting. That way, if you have any questions, I can answer them. So, but I can't promise that I'll stick to it because I get really distracted while I'm talking. But I will always, like every comment you have, I go through and I read them and I answer as many as I can. So, please comment and chit chat. The other one I'm putting on is Cypress. I put this on usually during calls too. If I've been chit chatting a lot, just put it right over my throat. And my famous words are I put it on because it helps with the, the stuff you got going on. So it's just a good one to be able to do for that. We're also going to talk about Cypress and some of the stuff and what it has to do with your beautiful body. So today it's all going to be about heart health. We are going to be talking about your cardiovascular system from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet because it goes everywhere. So that's what we're going to be chatting about. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experiences, but I want to do like a couple of disclaimers up front. Number one, and this is going to kind of sound like a joke, but it really isn't. If you right now you're finding the replay and you're Googling cardiovascular health because you're actually having chest pain and you feel like something's not right, for the love of God, call 911. Go get some help. I waited far too long before I finally went to the hospital because I was afraid that it was crazy. I thought I was losing my mind. Like, oh, it's not that bad. All the different things that we say in our head. But I'm here to tell you, my brother-in-law passed away a few years ago, and on his phone, he had a heart attack. And on his phone, he had been Googling symptoms of a heart attack. And I don't want that to be you. If you're going through something right now, go get help. That's the number one thing I want to say. Number two, I want to say this. I am not anti-doctors. For sure, they have a place. I am not anti-medicine. They have a place. If you have a disease or something like that, don't just take my story for like, the way it is. You need to partner with your healthcare professional. So I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I'm just going to share some of the stuff that we went through, things that we're doing, things that have worked, things that have not worked. So I'm just sharing a little bit of me. And then the last disclaimer is if you got this link or somebody sent you this video or they invited you to it and you decide, you know what, I want to start doing some stuff to keep my heart strong and healthy and you want to get going with anything, please get back with them. They're the ones that are going to help you on that. If you found us by accident, then of course send me a private message. But for the most part, get back to whomever invited you. So on that, let's get started. So if you don't know me, my name is Shannon. I have been dealing with stuff, and I think all of us are. And I think the reason I wanted to start sharing again and sharing my story is because I know I'm not the only person going through it. So about a year ago, I think it was February 1st, I had open heart surgery. And I'm telling you what, it is a game changer, like life changed. I used to hate this scar like really big, but now it's like it's victory. I got a second chance at life. And honestly, 20% of the people that have a heart attack, I did not have a heart attack. I caught it beforehand, but they don't make it through to say, praise God, I made it through. So that's where I am now, and it has been a struggle. And I want you to know it's not just you. It's not that, you're this horrible failure because we start looking at stuff and we start blaming our own self. I want you to know that 647,000 people die annually from heart disease. That is a crazy number. That's like, oh, I wrote it down so I would actually get it correct. 18 million people have heart disease, 18 million. 1 in 4 deaths, even now, with all the cray-cray happening in this world today, it's 1 in 4. Every 37 seconds, somebody dies from heart disease. And it's crazy because the numbers, when you look at them, do you know that if you go to the American Heart Association or all the different, heart places, all the studies show us that over 73% of all heart issues are lifestyle. I want to say that again. So, whether you have congestive heart failure or edema or arteries, hardened arteries, whether you have AFib, tachycardia, brachycardia, all the cardias, all of that, 73% of those are lifestyle. Do you know how empowering that is? Do you know that that means if it's lifestyle, it means that I can do something about it? So it's not just genetics. It's not your mom had, my dad died early with heart disease. He had, I was in high school when he had his first roto-rooter where they go and clean out the veins. So just because somebody in your family has had it doesn't mean that we can't change it. Lifestyle means flipping a switch. You know what I mean? Like every house has lights in it, but if you walk into a house and it's dark, and you're like, oh, this house just has problems. These lights don't work. These lights are broken. Lifestyle, because all you got to do is flip the switch and the light comes on. And your body was created to thrive. Like my word for this year is flourish. All the year before last, before I had the heart surgery, I just knew that it was my last year and I was dying. I didn't know what was going on, why it was so bad, but I knew. Mm, I knew I was dying. I knew I was sick. I knew I couldn't breathe. I knew I was so tired, so fatigued, so I couldn't remember stuff. And I knew, like, at my daughter's birthday, this is the last time I'm going to be here for my daughter's birthday. This is the last Christmas. This is the last Thanksgiving. I mean, the whole year was just, I was tired of fighting. I had been to so many doctors trying to find out what was wrong. I have MS, I have leukemia, I have those are for another day. We will talk about those, but nobody knew that I had a valve that was broken. And I had dealt with it for a really long time. I had severe anemia because of the leukemia. So my heart was, it was just, it was a lot in that whole year. That's what it was about. And then this past year, 2020, which was awful for everybody. I know it was a bad year, but for me, it was thank God I'm alive, but I just want to make it through the year. I just want to see, I just want to make it. It wasn't in this year, y'all. I want to flourish. I want to enjoy. I want to step out. I want more. And to do that, I got to be able to take people with me. I can't do it on my own. I want to do it as a team. So we're going to talk about all of those things that we just mentioned. And I want you to know, I know some of you are going to be like, well, what exactly should I do for XYZ? I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. All I can share with you is that 73% of all of it is lifestyle. So I'm going to share some of the lifestyle I did, but let me just throw some of these out there. What does lifestyle mean? Lifestyle is stress. Stress kills. We are going to talk about ways to de-stress because legitimately stress is kicking our butt as a people and we have been under even more stress with all of the hate and the fight and the stuff and I like this and I don't like that and I hate you and all the political stuff going on. Y'all, we have been stressed out and we got to talk about ways to bring that down. That's one of the things we're going to cover. Diet. Diet is a huge part of what lifestyle incorporates. And let me tell you this, I don't care whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, keto, carnivore, paleo, there's 1,000 different things. What I'm talking about is all of the stuff that none of us should be eating. All of the Franken foods, the things with all of the chemicals, all the toxins, when you look at a label and the ingredient list is this big, there's a problem. Like for me, I don't get any kickback on anything Young Living. I get paid up by Young Living, but other than that, I don't. But this is a bread. Where's the front? Doesn't even look like it has a front. This is a bread that we eat. This right here. This is one of our favorites. And it literally has 5 ingredients. And they're real ingredients. They're things that you can read. It is almonds and egg whites and psyllium husk and flaxseed. This is real food. That's the same thing with our crackers. We eat whole food. These crackers right here, they're super low carb. And this is the list. Y'all look. That's all the ingredients that are in here. This is real food. This is the type of thing we should be consuming. We should be consuming, unless you're a carnivore, we should be consuming huge amounts of grains. Our body gets so many parts and pieces, and those puzzle pieces fill in our needs. Like there are teeny tiny parts and pieces that our body needs, like it has to have in order to survive. And if it doesn't have those pieces, that switch, remember that light switch, it can't be flipped on. That's where lifestyle comes in. So regardless of what, nobody needs ho-hos and Fruit Loops and all the sugar-laden foods that aren't real. We need real foods. We need whole foods. We need things that don't have all the chemicals laid in there. So we do have another video that you can look at that talks about a lot of the foods. So we'll come back to that. I can tell you for Brian and I, what we chose to do, we have been a lot of intermittent fasting, which is amazing. Again, you can find more information on that somewhere else. We do keto or carnivore. We kind of go back and forth. I can't go carnivore for more than a little bit because I just crave my greens like crazy. And I think if my body's craving something like greens, I'm all right giving it some greens. So that's pretty much what we do. And we what we've been doing consistently, like hard, since November, and feeling so much better, feeling good. There are parts that like those greens that we're talking about. So it's so important that you're getting a wide variety of different greens because you need all of the minerals and vitamins that come in there. So those bits and pieces, y'all need to check that out. We'll do that on another class too. A lifestyle also, the number one thing is lack of exercise. A body in motion stays in motion, and when you stop moving, it affects your body. Let's talk edema on its own. The number one answer to help your body with edema is moving. It's moving, it's bouncing, it's walking, we have this lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system, the only way that it moves the water out is to kind of like milking a cow, and the muscles have to squish and release, and then the water starts to flow. So if you're dealing with things like edema, I know those legs can be tight and achy when you get up and start doing it. Throw on some things like some grapefruit and wintergreen and marjoram, rub them all on, rub from your toes up, and then get up and move, get up and move and do some bouncing. And when I first was getting out of the wheelchair, I've shared that a few times that I literally I would just bounce in the wheelchair because I couldn't do anything else. So I would bounce to keep my body moving. I see people asking the question, what brand? It is my crackers. It's Uprising. I swear I should get a kickback. I talk about them all the time. Uprising, I think it's uprising.com. And the crackers. So you guys, I know I hate it when people jump around when they're talking. I gotta let you guys see this with the crackers. You get 4 bags in the box, and they are so crunchy. So for those of you that do keto, these are keto, paleo, everything except for carnivore and straight vegan because they do have egg whites in there. But listen, do you see that? Oh, I started to put it in my mouth. They are delicious and crispy and crunchy, and you can do them like nachos and all kinds of different things. So that's just real food, is all I'm trying to say. Oh, let me put those back over there. I lost my train of thought. That's why I don't usually look at the questions. I get easily distracted. So anyways, uprising, diet, movement. Make sure you're moving. Some of the studies show that even 10 minutes a day will make a difference in your cardiovascular health. So nobody can tell if you are too busy for 10 minutes, you need to do some life evaluation. And I can tell you why you're so stressed, right? You should be able to fit 10 minutes in. So make it your habit. If when you wake up, you just do 10 minutes as soon as you wake up, do laps. I do laps through my house, whatever it takes to get you up and moving. And one of the things I used to also do was just set a timer on my phone so it went off every hour, and I would get up and I'd do a lap around the house, and then I started doing cans in the kitchen, and just you get that movement going. It really makes a difference when you talk about lifestyle. The fourth one, so it's stress, diet, lack of exercise, and toxic overload. All of these things are lifestyle, they're choices, which means we get to fix it. We get to make it better. It's in our control. So often we're like, oh, woe is me. This is happening. Oh, bad things always happen to me. But y'all, we got to do something about it. We have a choice, and I love that. It's empowering to me. So toxic overload again. So we talked about all the toxins and garbage in your food, but I'm also talking about your environment. You need to, what does your toothpaste say? What's your shampoo say? What's your conditioner, your mouthwash, your makeup, all of those things, that toxic overload, it just kicks our butt. What are we supposed to do? Like, if you have all of these toxins coming in, and if you're not sure if something's a toxin, my favorite thing, just go to the material safety data sheet. It's there has to be one on every single ingredient in every single product. So you can type in, your toothpaste, and you can look at each ingredient. And if on there it says that it's a carcinogenic, dude, a carcinogen means that it causes cancer. Get that out of your life. You know, why would you use something that you know causes cancer? I'm just saying. Same thing if it's shown to cause, high blood pressure. If you're on a medication and it says that you shouldn't take it if you have kidney problems or if you have heart issues or if you have all these things, discuss that with your doctor and say, okay, I have this problem. I have a racing heart and you're giving me this and this has a side effect that says racing heart, because a lot of times those side effects we think are new symptoms that we have, but they're side effects from the actual drugs that they're giving us. And you can chat with your doctor. You can say, listen, when I came home I was in the hospital for 3 months, y'all. I was on a ventilator. It was a mess. And I came home with a huge container of drugs. And I was so sick. And I went through each one and I looked up everything. And then when I met with my cardiologist, that I want an answer for this, I want an answer for this, I don't want to take this. This my body doesn't need at all. And I just chose to take control of me. And today, right now, at this point, I'm not on anything. No pharmaceuticals, which is huge. But I didn't just drop everything either. So remember, partner with your doctor. So it's all lifestyle. And the reason why those things all affect you, I got my little notes. The reason why stress, diet, lack of exercise, all those things is because they all lead to inflammation. And inflammation causes it causes everything. Like everything you have going on, inflammation is the bottom part. Like one of the first things they will check to see if you might have heart problems is a test called C-reactive protein. And the C-reactive protein is just a marker telling how much inflammation your body has. So it partners, it causes issues all over the place. So cutting out things like sugar and flour and again, all those different things are going to lower that C-reactive protein. So some of the things you can do for stress. So I'm going to give you I really, really wanted to be able to fit this in the class, but I knew I wouldn't be able to get it in. So I think it's the last Saturday of the month. I am doing a class. Don't turn me off when I say this. I'm doing a class on emotional release and essential oils. And the reason why I put this here is because usually that's something that we're all like, oh no, that's not the problem. It's all physiological. But emotions have a huge role. And we know that because even some of the words of things we say, we'll say things like, oh, you're breaking my heart. Oh, you're killing me. All of those words are signs of what's happening. It's us trying to protect ourselves. It's all in our mind and in our emotions, but we can change that. Like we can take control. So for now, grab your peace and calming, grab your stress away, grab your ylang ylang. Those are all oils that are very peaceful and calming. Vanilla. Who's been using their vanilla and is in love? Vanilla. It just helps us at that aroma, helps us to let some of that stress go. And you know what? I'm gonna throw another one out here. Turn off all the negative news. Stop Googling and searching and following and all the videos of all the horror and all the things because your heart can't take anymore. Your heart says this far, no further. I got nothing left to give. I'm just saying those are some things that you can do. So we're going to go deep on the stress and the emotions, and that is on February 27th. I just posted the actual event link so you can go to all my events and click on that so you don't forget to come join us for that one. I think you'll see some good things happening for you in there. So let me see what my next note is. They are estimating, and this is like not a big deal, but I think you should know. They're estimating that by the year 2035, 45% of the entire population will have heart disease. I think that number is horrifying, especially when you consider it's mostly lifestyle, which means that's things that we can change, right? That's things that we have the control over. So I'm just saying, and I want to talk about some things that are just overall. So you have a brain. Your brain needs all kinds of foods. No matter what you have going on with your brain needs those foods. And the same is true for your heart and your veins, your cardiovascular, even things like stroke. All of those things, no matter what it's called, it's one system, just one. And that system needs certain foods and certain nutrients that we're missing sometimes. So I want to talk about some basic things. This I'm going to do really quick. This is our multivitamin. Master Formula. Master Formula is amazing because it fills in a whole bunch of puzzle pieces at one time. So that if your body is like, maybe your body just needs vitamin Bs. Vitamin Bs are huge, huge important for your heart. It's huge important for your mitochondria, which are all the fuel cells inside your body. Vitamin Bs, your body needs it. So maybe your missing pieces are Super B. Ooh, see, can't even see it. Super B and Master Formula. They're a great combo. That might be the ones for you. You do that, and your body's like, whoop, whoop, and it starts turning on lights. It's like, woo, and you'll feel your breathing get better, and you'll feel just so good because that was your piece. That's what you needed. Maybe this one. You guys might be familiar with this one. There's a ton of resources that can teach you about this one. This is our juice. This is our Ninja Red. This one right here. Give me a shout if you are already doing your Ninja Red. This one right here is just food for every single cell in your body. This one helps with so many different things. Helps even with your little eyes, for your vision, for those little veins. It's high in lutein and zeaxanthin, which are food. Again, they're those things that flip on switches. That's what your Nature Bed is. And 2 to 4 ounces a day is amazing. There's seasons in my life where I'm taking 6 to 12 ounces a day because it's just that season for my body. It's amazing, those little pieces. I also want to talk about nitro. Again, there's a ton of videos that you can watch. I've got some on my Facebook page that will break down every ingredient in our nitro. But I don't know if you can see on here. Nitro says that it's all about cognitive health. So this one is all about what your brain needs, and it has all these teeny tiny parts and pieces. So it's not huge amounts of anything that your body needs. Like, I don't want you hammering thousands of pills. I want you to eat a good wide variety. But I also know that there's parts and pieces that are missing. We don't go in the garden and pull our own food year round, right? We don't pick the oranges off the tree and eat it with all of its parts and pieces. So we have to make sure that we're giving back those things that are depleted. Like the vitamin B is part of the reason why we all have to replace those, is every single time you are stressed out, every time somebody irritates you, every time somebody cuts out in front of you, every time you're reading the bad news, every time you get that feeling, you burn vitamin Bs. Magnesium, same thing. Magnesium, every time you eat something sweet, magnesium has to go and be used to help the body use up that sugar. It has to be used up. If it's getting used up because you're stress eating and you're eating the cookies and the ho-hos and the sandwiches and all the things you're eating, and well, there's no magnesium left. But magnesium is so important because it helps the muscle relax in between beats. It helps all of the veins and all of the different vessels that you have going through there. It helps them to soften and relax so that the blood can move through like it's supposed to. But if all of the lifestyle choices, the foods and the stress are using up your Bs and they're using up your magnesium, doesn't make sense why we have issues going on afterwards. And this one right here, this is like everybody will have their thing. This is my thing. As long as I take my nitro, I feel good. As long as I drink my nitro, I'm awake and alert and focusing and I can remember things. Who's a fan of remembering things, right? And it's this teeny tiny, tiny little tube. And it tastes amazing. And it's got chocolate essential oil and wolfberry essential oil. And it has green tea extract, which is amazing for the brain and the neurotransmitters. So this one's all in there. And one of the ingredients that it has is called D-ribose. You can go home and you're probably already home. You can look that one up on what D-ribose does. But this is one of the ones that for me, when I drink it, I feel calmer. Everything feels better. This one. So check this one out. And of course, I even have a sticky note on this one. See y'all? The sticky note, because this is Cardiovascular. This, like right now, if you're like, Shannon, I want to make sure I live on my heart. I only got a few pennies. What should I do? It's going to be your juice and your Cardiovascular right here. These two together. This one right here is food specific for the heart. So it has things like garlic in here. You can research garlic and how amazing it is for your entire cardiovascular system. It has CoQ10 in here. Listen, your heart needs CoQ10 and it's really greedy for CoQ10. And it's just one of those things it has to have. And when your body first starts getting CoQ10 again, it all goes directly to the heart. Your heart is greedy. But once the heart gets everything that it needs, it will release it because every cell in your body needs CoQ10. But how many of you, when you turn over your label or you look at your fruits or your vegetables or your meats, you know that you're getting enough CoQ10? Right? So it's in here. It's also in our mind wise. You're going to get CoQ10 and and something else. If someone remembers the other one, let me know. But Cardiogize, it's amazing. Hawthornberry, turmeric, think those things. These are all food that are specific to your beautiful, amazing heart or your veins or your blood supply. That's what all of this one is all about. And you only have to take 2 small pills. But I also wanted to point out that there's oils, essential oils that are in all of these things we're talking about. Because essential oils, they give a little oomph to everything you do. In the essential oils that are in your cardiotage, you have things like angelica, you have cardamom, cypress, lavender, rosemary, you have cinnamon. They're all in here. They're powerhouses, y'all. And you're taking those essential oils internally when you're taking this because they're already there. And then we have things like omega dyes. So that third thing, when I say you say, just got a few, where should I go? Nature Red, cardio dyes, omega dyes. Omega dyes are all those really good, healthy fats that they're telling us to eat the salmon and all the different things because it's got the good fats in it, right? Our omega dyes is a powerhouse. Omega dyes has the CoQ10 in there. I knew there was a third one. It also has vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 and it's so powerful. Y'all, they're just things. They're things that your little heart is gonna go, yes, that's what I need. My heart needs that. Omega dyes, that's our good one. And in omega dyes, the essential oils you're getting internally are clove. You're also going to get German chamomile and I believe it is lemongrass. All of those are powerful. So if you have any of those books that you look up what you should do for when and how and all that kind of stuff, think about the oils that you're already ingesting in that trifecta because that Ninja Red has your yuzu, it has lemon, it has orange, it has tangerine. You're getting the angelica, the marjoram. Yeah, marjoram. You're getting the marjoram, the cinnamon, the cardamom in your cardiagize, and then you've got your clove and your lemongrass and your German chamomile just in those three with your omega dyes. So that is a powerhouse that you can do. And then you can add the things that you think work for you. Like I said, nitro. I'm telling you, if you are forgetting things, if you lose focus, if you are tired, if you have that slump that happens in the afternoon, this might be one of your specific pieces. The other one I would say after that would be our sulfurzyme. Sulfurzyme on the label says that it is amazing. Okay, it doesn't use the word amazing. That's my word. It says it supports recovery time and acute inflammation associated with exercise and overall joint health. So, sulfur, when you think about sulfur, sulfur gives that flexibility, right? It makes things soft and flexible. So, think of your veins. You want that flexibility, your skin, your hair, your nails. This is all sulfur. So this one right here, amazing. That would be my fourth lineup for you. So Ninja Red, Cardio Dyes, Omega Dyes, Sulfurzyme. I'm just saying those are ones that were really important to Brian and I. And the Super Bead. I want to point out this one. This one I will go more in depth. This is PD 8020. This is 80% pregnenolone and 20% DHEA. Now, this one is actually, I'll go really in depth in our hormone series every Tuesday for the next 5 weeks. Woo! You'll meet right here on this same page, and we're doing a 5-week hormone series. And we are going to take you from the very basics all the way through so that you can have a working knowledge, an everyday Joe personality of how your body works and how the emotions work. So we will go more in depth on this one. For now, I just need you to know that this is powerful. That pregnenolone, part of what pregnenolone does, it's a hormone that is a precursor to all the other steroid hormones in your body. So steroid hormones are things like estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. This is the precursor. So it goes from cholesterol turns into pregnenolone, and then it has different functions and it goes different ways and it makes different steroid hormones. And testosterone is really important when it comes to heart health, having normal, healthy testosterone. So that's one we'll go really in depth on. So you can think about that one if that's one that might work for you or something that you need. And then I want to talk about electrolytes. Now, this is our amino wise. Our amino wise is like three different products all rolled into one. And one of these products is our electrolytes. So it has some potassium in here. It has some the good healthy salts. It's got potassium. It has all of your branch chain amino acids. So you see people saying they got their BCAAs and they're so happy. And then it also has in here some that are specific to the heart, like L-arginine. Well, not even just the heart, it's specific to your body's ability to make nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is super important. It's the oxygen molecule that helps our veins be able to dilate and so blood can flow freely. And that is our amino acids. Now, this is a powder. Um, tastes delicious. And what we do is we put our amino acids just in with our Ninja Rod and some of the herbal tinctures that we take and some oils, and we mix it all up and we sip and drink that all day long. Um, and my mind wise goes in there too. So that's something you can think about. But I want to tell you why the electrolytes are so important. Your things like um, Brian was in the hospital, maybe 4 years ago, my husband, and he had severe AFib because he had, what's it called? Can't breathe. Oh my gosh, sleep apnea. He had sleep apnea, severe sleep apnea, and his machine was not strong enough. So he always had petechia around his eyes. And if you stop breathing all the time, which is how bad his was, that's what was causing the petechia, not breathing. Um, it damages the heart, so it beats at two different times. So they're not in synchronization, right? So he went into the hospital because it was severe, really, really bad. And we were there for about 5 days. And in that 5 days, they're like, okay, we may have to go in and do a where they give a jolt to the heart and possibly a pacemaker to get it to get into rhythm. And we're like, well, we've waited this long and we weren't really doing any of the natural stuff that I know how to do. Excuse me, because I'm like, we're in the hospital, he's in ICU, I'll just wait, we'll do stuff when we get back home. And he wasn't getting better. So I had been researching that the body needs about 3,500 milligrams or 3.5 grams of potassium for the electrical frequency to happen like it's supposed to. The bing, 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 like it's supposed to. And I had been kind of nervous about trying it because, oh my gosh. But we decided, well, we're in the hospital. He's hooked up to all the machines. If we do this and it keeps him from having to have, a shock to his heart, it would be worth it. So I went ahead and I mixed it up. It was 4 doses. I couldn't find, and Young Living doesn't have anything that does that. So I actually got from Dr. Berg's, Bergs. I will try to put the links to all the things I'm chatting about so that you guys can find them. But Dr. Berg's has an electrolyte solution that has 1,000 milligrams of potassium and all the other electrolytes that go with it. So I went ahead and I mixed him up a triple batch. So he got 3,000 milligrams at one time. Now, here's my heart to you. Don't do all three at one time. It will give you really loose stools. We found out the hard way. Anyway, mixed it up, put a couple other things in there, and I said, here you go, babe. And he drank it. And his AFib came in check so quick that his nurse, because he was in ICU, came in about, maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes later to see what happened. Like, what is going on? Because now it wasn't gone, but it was from way up high to way low. And it went down to here, just within 10 minutes of getting his body that potassium. And when we looked back at the foods that he consumed, how I keep telling you to do greens. Those greens are so important. It's because they're also super high in potassium and all those other minerals that we just don't get in our food. So when we looked back at everything, he didn't eat avocados. He wasn't doing the greens. There were lots of things that may have stopped that from happening to him, but we didn't take them. So after that, we kept him on one scoop 4 times a day for a really long time. And now he's hit and miss. He'll do 2 or 3 times a day that he takes that, but it's just letting you know that those rhythms, so things like tachycardia, bradycardia, AFib, that's all electrical, right? So if you really understand how electrolytes work, it's really important that you're getting them. So ask yourself, am I eating 12 cups of vegetables a day? Probably not. Like if you're like the majority of us. So there's a lifestyle change you can make. So if you can up it where you're eating 4 or 5 cups of greens, and then you can do some of the um like Dr. Berg's. It's really hard to find a really high potassium. That 1,000 milligrams, that's a gram with every serving. That's clean. So that's what I have found that is clean. The ingredients themselves, I'm good. It also has some of the trace minerals in there. So he is one that I like. So those are some of the things. Then I just want to tell you some oils. So I'm not telling you that these oils necessarily will um, change will fix anything, but I just want to tell you the really good ones to play with. But before I do that, I want to tell you monitor. Like the best way to know, the reason why we know he doesn't have to be on his potassium at really high dosage anymore is because we monitor it. So we spent like $200. This is from Cardia. I'll put the link. This right here is a home EKG, so that we can either do 1 lead or 6 leads. 1 lead is fine. But it's just a great way for us to monitor whether or not he's an AFib. Because I don't want to wonder, I don't want to guess, and it doesn't like we check this all the time. I have to check my O2 and my heart rate and all those things because of some other stuff we'll talk about another day. But we check this. But when you're checking things like the AFib, because it goes up and down so quickly, this is not going to be accurate for you because it's going to pick it up, but it's not going to pick up the crazy up, the crazy down, the crazy up. So you could be looking at this going, no, I'm fine. I'm 80 all the time. Or, oh my gosh, I'm 112. Why am I 112 today? Oh no, I'm better. It's 80. This, because it's an EKG, it's going to tell you after you do a 1 minute to a 5 minute scan, and it shows everything just like you're in the doctor's office getting an EKG. So if you're having those situations, dude, invest in you. The other cool part about this is our cardiologist, we are able to send him a monthly report right from Cardia Care. I'll put the link in there. And that way, if it's getting worse or getting better, they can adjust things. This is also how I have gotten my cardiologist to be willing to change my meds and things so that I can go, okay, here's all of my blood pressures. My blood pressure is perfectly perfect in every way. Why would I be on a blood pressure medicine? I don't take a cholesterol drug for a completely another reason. There's just nothing in the universe that could compel me to take a cholesterol lowering drug. But it is their standard operating practice. If you have anything with your heart, they're going to put you on certain things. And so I had to defend myself. And instead of me just saying it's good, I was able to show them. So some other things that I test my blood pressure. I check my blood sugar. When I was in the hospital that 3 months, they had me on steroids, and it put me straight into diabetic. They ended up putting me on an IV pole with insulin, and I came home and did me, and my blood sugar is perfectly perfect again. So but when the doctor doesn't see those numbers and those charts, they question it. So I really like checking that and having the proof behind it. The blood sugar checker that I use is by Keto Mojo. I'll again put the link in there. It's like a $30 unit, but I like it because it does a couple things. One, I can also check my ketones in my blood, not in my urine. Your urine will change as you get more keto adaptive, but your blood is fantastic to check that. But it also checks your HCT. And HCT is a great indicator of, because I'm anemic and I roll that way because of the leukemia, I'm able to see really quick if my percentages are going down that I need to do something. So I take lots of other things like iodine and iron. And I guess I'll do that really shout out. Y'all, I hope I don't go over. Oh, I'm at 40 minutes. I thought it was about an hour now. Okay, so here's two other things that I highly recommend just for overall health. CBD oil, Young Living's, tons of websites on it. check out our CBD and what it does for your body. We have an entire endocannabinoid system, and your body recognizes CBD and does amazing things with it. So we'll talk about that another time. The other one I do, another product that is not Young Living. I hope some of you aren't getting mad that I'm talking about other stuff, but your body needs stuff we don't have. This right here is iodine. Your body is so depleted. Your body needs desperately iodine. For any of the hormone functions that we talk about, you have to have iodine. And this is the brand that I like. It is J. Crow's. This one is a 2% solution. There's also a 5% solution that's really hard to find. But this, I do a total of 10 drops a day. So I just take a few drops in all of my stuff and I have it throughout the day. And it's huge and important for what it does for your heart. Like your heart needs the iodine because there's so many other things that happen. Like it's a catalyst. You know, those light switches I'm talking about? Part of what iodine does is it turns on other light switches that can get the connection to the heart. So this is one of those. And it's really inexpensive. You can get two of them for like on Amazon cheap. I don't remember, but they're not. And there's like a ton in here. It's 2 ounces, so it will last you a really long time. Highly recommend that you do that. It's also going to help your overall immune system. You can also take drops of that if you've got a cut or a boo boo. You can put iodine on it. Remember back in the day what we would do after you put the iodine in because it would burn. It's great stuff. What brand? This is J. Crow's. It's a Lugel solution, J. Crow's. That's the one I like. You can do you. I have used these guys and their pills forever. I like the liquid better than the pills. The pills used to upset my stomach. I don't get that at all from the liquid. So some oils I want to chat about. First of all, addicted to deep relief. Wasn't for the class today, but it's over with all my stuff, so I'm going to grab it real quick. All right. So some of the ones that we've already talked about because you're going to get those orally in your the supplements we talked about. One is clove. Clove is one of the ones that comes in our omega dyes. This is like massive high fat soluble antioxidant and it is awesome. You can put it directly in your mouth. You can use it spice with it, do the different things. I will tell you clove is really, really hot when you put it directly in your mouth. So you might want to use a shot glass and you can put a little bit of MCT oil in there or any oil or your V6, put that directly in there. And then you can put all your oils into that and then just drink the shot down. Another one is lemongrass. Lemongrass, y'all. This is our edible. This is our, oh my gosh, what's it called? Vitality line. And then this is our lemongrass that you can put on topically. So when I was talking about just rubbing it on your legs and get moving and get bouncing, this is what I would put on my legs right here. And then this is what I would put in that shot glass or capsules or however you would want to do it. I just put them in a shot glass and drink it all at one time because I don't want to sit and fill 1,000 little things. Then other ones that you can do, ylang ylang. Ylang ylang is the one that you're constantly seeing me just pouring over my heart. And then on any of my heart points, it's just, remember I said how important it is to be just de-stress? Yelling Yelling is one of those that's going to help you do that. It's all about balancing that the male and female inside you. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the emotional oil class. Another one is Endoflex. Now, Endoflex also comes in a vitality, so you can eat that. You can also take it and put it right over your chest. Again, it's got that spearmint. It's got so many different oils that just like that. It's got your fennel in there. Fennel is amazing for releasing some of that built up garbage that we get going on. But you can take the Endoflex Vitality and just put a couple drops directly underneath your tongue. I carry it with me. For me, it just gives me like a little bit of a whoo whoo, a little jump in my step, I guess I would say. Another one I really highly recommend is Aroma Life. We need Aroma Life is all about that. It's all about that flourish we're talking about, Aroma Life. Pour this all over your chest. Deep breathe that in. Put it on the different pressure points. If you don't know where the pressure points are, look, this is how easy it is. You can take some oil, because your pressure points are all over your hands, right? And you can rub them in. There you do you see how I hit every single pressure point in my hand? Like, this doesn't have to be rocket science. This doesn't have to be hard. It's just going to stress you out more. Let's make it simple and easy. And then take it, that leftover on your hands, rub it all over your ears. You'll always see me taking my oils and rub them on my hair and rub them on my, because then I'm sniffing it. Nothing long, I got my snorting going on. But you can just put those oils everywhere. Just enjoy them. I also like that. I really think that has helped soften my skin because it just doesn't feel as tight as it did. And I could feel some of the wires and stuff. And this really helps make it feel just a little more comfortable. So, and I do that with all of them. My wintergreen. I want you to look up wintergreen. Oh, can't say the next part. Oh, just take your wintergreen and rub that on. It's just an amazing oil. And then what's the other one I got here? I am missing one. Heliochrysum. Heliochrysum. Again, just rub that all over. Get it on your pressure points. Breathe it in. Just enjoy those different oils. You're going to see some amazing things happening. You're going to feel that stress start to go away. You're going to feel like you can take that deep breath and let it go, which is what we're supposed to be able to do. So I need you to get up and start moving. I need you to stop sitting in front of the computer constantly looking at all the scary things that are happening in the world. I need you to eat some green stuff, right? And if you know you're just not going to get around to it, you're not going to change, you're not going to start eating greens, then I need you to grab some multi-greens. Young Living has a product that is amazing. I can't believe I didn't bring it in. And it's called multi-greens. And that is all that green stuff put into a couple of capsules. So you can just pop your capsules, or you can put, if you're a smoothie maker, you like your shakes and stuff, you can just take those capsules, open it up, and I'll tell you what, it just tastes green. It is a lovely taste. And inside there, you've got things like Melissa essential oil, you've got your chlorophyll, you got a little bit of the iron, you got not iron, you have seaweed, you have your kelp in there, so it's going to help raise up your iron. Speaking of iron, if you do run on the anemic side, because being even just barely anemic, it puts a lot of pressure on your heart. Your heart can, in congestive heart failure, that heart gets bigger and thicker, and part of it is just not getting enough oxygen, and you need more red blood cells, right? And you need iodine. So if you do something like Ironology, that's the company that I use to get my iron from. Ironology, I'll put that link in there too. It's not something everybody needs. But if like you if you get the monitor and you go, woo, my HCT is low, or you get your blood work done and the doctor's like, oh, you're fine, and you look at it, but you're at the very bottom of fine, then you might want to do a couple of weeks of Ironology so that instead of being at the bottom, I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be average. I want to be above average, because average in a profoundly sick society is still what? It's still sick. I don't want to be sick. So if you look at your iron and you're like, I'm right here at the bottom, or your HCT or your hemoglobin, if any of those are a little bit dipping, go ahead and grab yourself some Ironology, take it for a few weeks, and then get it checked again. Most of your blood work is not real expensive. You can have it checked more frequently than you are, and you can request to have it checked as well. So if you guys have any questions, if I said anything and you're like, that's total wackadoodle, I don't agree, don't do it, right? But none of this is me telling you this is what you got to do. And I listed like a ton of stuff. You don't have to do all of it. Do what works for you. Start drinking some water, start eating some green stuff, start moving. That doesn't cost anything to get your move on. Put on some music, and when you're doing your stuff in your house, get some beat going, right? Get that popping. It's just super important to get that movement happening. It's all lifestyle. 73% of the problem is lifestyle, which means we get to change that. All right, you guys, I will be back next Saturday at 1 o'clock. I am doing a new class that I've just been playing with, and it is the five love languages. That book was back in 1995, but the love languages and essential oils. So how you can learn to talk in all those love languages and what oils work with which love language. So we're going to be doing that. And then remember, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we are going to be doing our hormone series. I'm excited about that. So I will see you guys when I see you. And God bless. I hope you're having a great day.